Welcome to the Primo's Musings podcast.
Good evening. This is Shri here, and welcome to the Day 9 recap of the French Open. Let's start on the women's bracket today, and I did have a chance a little bit to watch at least some of the matches. So Rybakina was pretty amazing against Svitolina, 6-4, 6-3. Very calm, that she is always, and not much emotion to it. She just goes about her business, and she didn't waste any time in getting a break. And then once she got the break, she didn't look back, and she won up rather easily in her matchup. On the other hand, we had Emma Navarro taking on Sabalenka, and Sabalenka over the past few years, she's been really solid. I mean, she hits the ball hard, she moves her opponent, and she has this excellent serve as well, which that used to be one of her Achilles heels, but she's developed a great serve, and Navarro didn't really have much chances against Sabalenka, and Sabalenka moves on to the quarterfinal. And young Andreeva, she won a tough match. The first set was a little longer, 7-5, but then she won it pretty easily in the second set, 6-2. And then Paolini, despite losing the first set against Avanesian, came back. In fact, Prakash Amritraj on Tennis Channel did say that once she won the second set, her experience is probably going to take over. So she won 6-0-1 after losing 6-4. So the quarterfinal matches have been set. Tomorrow, let's quickly start off. You have Coco Gauff taking on Ons Jabeur, and then you have Iga Swiatek taking on Vondrousova. Interestingly, all four of them have been in the final, with three of them actually having won the final. Coco won the US Open, Swiatek won multiple majors, and then Vondrousova having won the Wimbledon. And Jabeur was actually in the final against Vondrousova in Wimbledon. And on June 5th, you got Paolini taking on Rybakina and Andreeva taking Sabalenka. So that's where we are. Let's quickly go to the men's bracket. The first matchup was Minaur versus Medvedev. Medvedev actually was pretty solid in the first half, won it at 6-4. But then Minaur, really one of the great Aussies who's been playing really well over the past few years, and I saw the highlights of it because it was during the day, but Minaur really looked sharp against Medvedev. Medvedev had a tough time with Minaur's speed, and I think this is where Minaur has moved on to the next round. And then we go to the Taylor Fritz and Ruud. Ruud won the first set, very close tiebreaker. Came down to 1 point here and there, and Fritz lost the first set to Ruud. But however, in the second set, Fritz did bounce back very nicely, had a couple of excellent drop shots, but continuously, both of them had excellent rallies going back and forth. But Fritz definitely got the upper hand in the second set. But the third set, again, it was a very close affair. At 5-4, Fritz had a little unforced error, and that's how that set was lost at 6-4. And then Ruud was very solid. Once he broke Fritz in the fourth set, didn't look back, and then rallied off very quickly to win at 6-2. And then you had the Djokovic and Zverev. Djokovic was incredible. I got to watch the highlights as this was during the day as well. Incredible in the first set, 6-1, rattled off very good, looked like the Djokovic of the old. But then Zverev won the second set 7-5. I was able to beat Djokovic at 6-5, and won it to make it at 1-1. And in the third set, I mean, Cerundolo was impressive. I mean, I saw some excellent rallies from both players, and Cerundolo took a 2-1 lead. And then it came down to the fourth set where Cerundolo actually had a break, was actually up a break, but Djokovic rallied. He may be a little tired, but his heart is still there, and he somehow willed his way to win the fourth and the fifth set. I did see something in an article saying that Djokovic, was talking about his knee. He wasn't sure if he would be ready to go against Ruud, but knowing Djokovic and how he's so prepared, I don't see him not playing that match. And then you got last match, Zverev and Rune, and this was a match where Rune won the first set 6-1, lost it pretty easily at 6-1 to Zverev, won the second, and it didn't come down to the fourth set, 6-all in the tiebreaker, so Rune definitely had his chances to close the game. But Zverev actually has been impressive in this French Open, especially in the tiebreakers. And he won it at 7-6 and then won it rather easily in the fifth set. So tomorrow we have some very great matchup in store for us. You got Dimitrov playing against Sinner, and then you got Tsitsipas against Alcaraz. And I think I already covered that. Tsitsipas is 0-5 against Alcaraz. So this will be a match that will test Tsitsipas. Let's see if Tsitsipas can upset Alcaraz, and then same thing with Dimitrov, who wants to get a revenge after the Miami Open. And then on Wednesday, as I was mentioning, you got Djokovic and Ruud, Zverev and Minaur. So the quarterfinal matchups have been set, and you really have a dream matchup. Of course, there was no Medvedev there, but even without that, you have all the good matchups. And hopefully, who knows, if Alcaraz and Sinner can get through, I mean, you could see a matchup between them in semifinals, and Djokovic, winner of Djokovic and Ruud. I definitely think if Djokovic and Zverev win it, it'll be like all chalk in the semifinal. But I'm sure de Minaur, Ruud, Tsitsipas, and Dimitrov have something to say about that. So with that, we wrap up the Day 9 recap of the French Open. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Primo will be back soon.